This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, earlier this year we were watching the Olympics and we were watching people do track and field and do all sorts of other sporting events that are out in the summertime. We were also watching them do gymnastics. Today that's what we're looking at here. It's called Fantastic Gymnastics. This is a mass market game from Hasbro. It's sort of zany and crazy, so let me just show you how this dexterity game works. In Fantastic Gymnastics, you're literally going to be just pressing these buttons and trying to time it right and allow him to stick a landing on this Velcro mat for a different amount of points. Let's show it in action. So what happens is you have this yellow button here and you're going to press it. When you press it, it lifts his legs up. If you hold it, it will hold his legs up until it will eventually go down. What you're trying to do is press this button in a nice rhythm to be able to get him to swing back and forth. And once you get used to it, now, if you do it the wrong time, it's going to sort of stop his momentum, as you see here. But if you can get it to go at the right time, you can get him to go all the way around. And you're, oh, he fell on his face. You're trying to get him to stick the landing. Let's take another look. Now, it is harder than it looks. I've had friends watch me do this, and some of them can't even get him to get over the bar because it just takes some practice. Oh, almost. All right, here we go again. Yeah! Look at that. Oh, yeah. And he's even like sideways. That is amazing. That's how you do it, folks. Yeah! He's stuck it! Now, the rules don't really specify, it has the points on the mat themselves. It says you can have a tournament. And if you flip this over, it just has like a tournament bracket, but it doesn't necessarily say, how many things to each person get. Do you do it to your first time you stick it or whatever? So it's not really in the rules how you would really play this as like a game, but it's really just meant as sort of a novelty type of thing that you put on the table at a party and watch everyone just gather around and hoot and holler. Now, I had seen a version of this in Japan, I think about a year and a half ago on a YouTube video, and I watched it, and I watched how much fun they were having, I was laughing, and I went, oh my gosh, I have to have this. And then I looked and I found it in Japan, but then I saw how much it was gonna cost, not only to buy it, but to get it over here, because everybody in Japan loved it, and I went, it's not worth $200. I hope someone reprints this. Well, this past week, 2 weeks ago, we were at Board Game Geek Con, and the guys from CEGE had this at their table. They were just playing it for fun. And I went, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, I got that at the Toy Fair. It's coming out in the next couple weeks. And I was like, oh, yes, finally this can come. So, oh man, this game, it looks silly. I make it look sort of easy, or anybody that's played the game enough will just make it look easy. I'll just show people how it works. I'll set up a table, I'll do it, and whether I stick the landing or not, I get the guy going, flipping around, and I can just walk away from a party with this table, and literally this thing would sink hours of people's time laughing, trying to get it going. It's just such a conversation piece. It's such a party starter. It is like the best game to bring to a party or a social outing because it will just cause so many conversations, people laughing. It's silly, it's zany, it's very hard, but it is so fun, and the attraction that this thing causes of people watching, yelling and screaming. I mean, you will hear people that are playing this just uproar when somebody sticks a landing, and everybody within earshot is going to come check out what it's going, getting in line to try this thing. That's how fun it is. But it is a little bit hard. You got to get used to it. It's very hard at first to even just get your guy over the bar, but then over to the landing. But it's a ton of fun. So if you're looking for something that's a wow factor, a novelty that's really fun, that we might be looking back at decades from now and go, remember that little gymnastic guy? This is a time to get this thing now. It is fun. I really loved it. I actually got it at Toys R Us. It was about 20 bucks that I paid for it. So it's in mass market stores, and it's such a blast. So if you're looking for that type of thing, a lot of people are gonna look at it and go, that's silly, but I've played it with some people that looked at it and go, oh, it looks so easy. And then they get there and like, oh man, this actually really has some rhythm and some dexterity to it. So if this looks like something interesting to you, then you should get Fantastic Gymnastics. And because it's so unique, I'm definitely gonna be keeping this in my gaming library. So let's do it justice with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.